I wouldn't know how to raise a daughter, especially if she inherited more than just my blood. And if she was like me, a talker, and likes playing in the mud, she'd get dirt all over her pretty frock and fall climbing a big rock, which she was probably advised against on her walk. But she just wanted to give it a try, because how else was she supposed to know why? She was to step out carefully in the streets, and she was to be aware of everyone she meets. I wouldn't know how to raise a daughter, because to everyone she met, she'd want to be kind. She'd want to believe what's in front, not behind. I wouldn't know how to protect her from that stab in the back. I wouldn't know how to tell her it wasn't her fault, that attack. Because if she inherited more than just my blood, she's inherited my mind. That was a flood of emotions and feelings and intentions, though clear. Forgive me, I would live in fear. Because that attack in her head would be her fault. She'd go through her every move by default. And she tried to pick what she thinks she did wrong, that on herself she brought whatever it is that this passing soul had done to her. She would apologize a lot. I wouldn't know how to tell her that this wasn't her fault. My daughter, however crazy this may sound, but if my daughter had found someone who came by and touched her life, she would protect him even if she came to the ground. They necessarily wouldn't do the same, but my daughter, she'd be game to pick herself yet again, and she could persevere through pain, but I really couldn't raise a daughter. Because she'd give pieces of her heart away to anyone who she may think may need it or not. My daughter would just stand there while they fought their battles in their own minds and around. She'd stand there not making a sound. So they'd probably not even realize her presence. She'd just be someone across the fence who was a witness or a silent supporter. She'd stand there with no one to support her. But maybe that's not when I worry, though, because she has my heart. And even if she gave all of her pieces apart, there'd still be so much of love and care still there for herself and everyone out there. The same everyone who, of course, would have quite an opinion on how she was to walk and dress and talk and walk gently, laugh softly, and be polite and decide the length of her frock. I really wouldn't know how to raise a daughter, because one day she'll meet a man who'll come across as everything she ever wanted, and she would become a fan. He'd say things sweet, make gestures sweeter. He would tell her how much he'd need her, but he could walk back the same path he came. He could call all of her thoughts lame. I wouldn't know how to tell her so she could breathe and realize that not all relationships serve her. I wouldn't know how to tell her that his words, his harsh words, they were just words, and they weren't close to defining who she was. I wouldn't know how to tell her to give her self-accusation a pause. That when he said that she felt too much, it was actually a compliment in her honor, because he had no idea of the strength she had to take her feelings upon her. When he said that she was too moody, he missed the subtlety of her beauty, that did not ask her to take care of her every mood, but only that he understood and loved every side that she had, because believe me, none of it was bad. Okay, even if it was, she never showed him that. I wouldn't know how to hold her when she realizes that what people say doesn't necessarily mean what they may mean to do when she expected. They could just walk away. I wouldn't know how to tell her that it was okay to let go, that she wasn't defined by an act or a thought, especially when it wasn't hers. But hey, if there's something my daughter would know, is that she'd do something every day to grow a little happier person by the clock, and a dancing tune to her walk. I'd teach her to never rest her smile, and that every effort was worthwhile. And if change was coming, embrace it even if at first it makes life uneven. If something does not go as planned, be thankful and understand. Because, my dear, in fact, when you are blessed, when things don't work out, it's generally for the best. But it's never okay to lull your voice, and it's never too late to make a choice. It's never too late to step up, but it's never okay to give up. Nothing matters more than your happy mind, so don't be afraid of the grind. Don't be afraid to sweat it out, and don't be afraid to rest your doubt. Success isn't to reach someplace. Success isn't winning a race. Success is yours when you wake up feeling light and fresh and satisfied while going to bed. Okay, maybe I could raise a daughter. Dear daughter, it's okay if you feel like you failed a few. It's okay if you feel like you're challenged by something new. Or if one day in your arms, they give you a version of you but shorter, and you look at her and think, I wouldn't know how to raise a daughter. Thank you.